Hi guys, this is Trainer Tony, and you're watching Pokemon Trainer Times. Okay, so this is Tony, and this is the beginning of the first Pokemon Journey video, as you guys are going to see. I learned a lot about what not to do with this video, as I said. So we're going to go along on our adventure here, and I'm narrating the video as an interesting little point, because I also learned that the microphone on my camera is incredibly muted by the protective case, so it didn't pick up any of my narration or my commentary along the way. I'm not going to try to recreate it. I'm just going to let you know what's going on here and share this experience. We're moving probably out of town in the next few weeks, so I wanted to go and visit all of the places that I wanted to share with you guys on my journey, places I've discovered, and hopefully between now and the time that we leave, I'll be able to find some new places with you guys. This is the road out of Madison. If you keep going this way, eventually you'll hit the highway. This is a really nice place to ride the bike. This bike lane is not very well maintained, as you can probably tell by the bouncing camera, but this is my favorite time of year, and not just for hunting Pokemon, but in general. But it really brings that feeling to me like I'm actually on a Pokemon journey, which is my whole entire point. This is really, I would rather feel like I'm out on a legitimate, real-life Pokemon journey than walk around, say, New York City and hit Pokestops every other block and, the whole thing. Although that has its advantages too. I would really, really, really like to do that someday. This was the only thing that popped up on my nearby list so far. It's just a Venonat. I have like 12 of them. I think it was a one-shot catch. No, it was, right. He was like a 38, if I remember right. 38 CP, so that's a candy, that's a transfer. It's like an auto transfer, but I wanted to see how well the camera would pick up a catch, so I stopped to get him. I would have used an incense here on the way, but I was a little more involved in trying to see how well the camera was picking up the scenery and the movement of the bike and everything. But like I was saying, it's really something to get going, especially because a year ago I thought that I would never get out of bed again. I thought that was it. I thought I was done. And as any of you have seen my video, my regular Pokemon video, about how Pokemon Go saved my life and got me back into the Pokemon world, know already it was the idea of being able to go out and catch Pokemon in the real world that really got me going again. So every time I set out like this, I felt horrible today. I have 4 MRIs tomorrow and an endoscopy under sedation on Thursday. And I didn't think I'd be up to this today, but I couldn't help it. I had to get out. I said I was going to make the first episode. This church here boggles my mind. They have a neon sign, not a neon sign, an electric, LED sign out front that usually shows an American flag. And the first time I saw it, it really threw me off because I've never seen a church do that. It just seemed a little jarring to me, but maybe that's just me. This church is also a Pokestop. As I remember, I got 3 Pokeballs from it when I stopped just there. Nothing really to write home about. But, it looks vaguely rural, suburban. And it's pleasant this time of year with the foliage. People will drive 3, 4, 5 days to come up here and see the leaves change. So, but we're headed to the real part of our journey here. Like I said, this bike lane is really horrible. But it was really something. Oh, yeah, we're coming up on the turnoff right here. This is Father Rasle Road. And this is my second favorite place in town so far that I've discovered for Pokemon journeying. Although, as you can tell by my not stopping, nothing was popping up on my sightings list at all, which was a little disappointing for a Pokemon Go video, a Pokemon Let's Play. But on tomorrow's episode, not only am I going to go to places where there are automatically more Pokemon spawning, but I will throw out an incense so that we can get a little more experience here with the catching. But sometimes the journey is worth more than the amount of Pokemon I catch, and on days when I catch a lot and also explore, I consider that a huge win, and I'm hoping to share those videos with you guys. This is the top of Father Rasle Road. As you can see, not terribly well, but the colors are fantastic. They're really amazing to look at, especially from the top of the hill there. But get going again. And again, there was nothing but a Pidgey on my sightings list here, so I just decided to keep on going to the place that I really wanted to show you, which is historical landmarks down the end of the road, but it's quite a ways. And this is the view from the top. Going again. There are a couple of skips because I edited out. And just so you know, I won't be doing voiceovers every single time. I'm hoping that tomorrow I'll be able to pick up my actual commentary as I go by. So even though this might be a little easier to understand, I'm probably not going to be doing this every time. These are the tracks, obviously. I think I made the comment at the time this was very Stephen King-ish. Not as much as the tracks that I crossed coming back onto the highway on my way back in the pitch dark, which you probably won't see today because the camera obviously picks up nothing in the dark, even with my headlight, so. And I think I've seen, even though the picnic area near the monument is a really good fishing spot and a place where people like to go and sit occasionally, I've seen a total of maybe 3 cars total. Oh, I was hatching an egg. This was a 2K, so I didn't have a lot of high hopes for it. And of course, it was a Weedle. Which, you know, you win some, you lose some, but, you know, those and Pidgeys are all over today. Every day, pretty much, and Rattatas, as they are for everybody. I know them in a lot of places. My game was lagging really badly here. I was trying to incubate that egg, and my phone wasn't responding to my touchscreen. So it happens a lot lately with this phone. I don't know what's up with that. The camera speed is interesting, so it makes me look like I'm doing a Keystone Cops routine here. But I was getting kind of frustrated because I was trying to get going and wouldn't let me start my egg. I've started, you know, obviously hatching my eggs based on how much distance I think I'm going to cover. And because of my disability and because I am restricted to the bike and how far the bike will go, I have to be really kind of careful in hatching my eggs. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that if you're disabled, you're limited to a scooter or a wheelchair or a cane or a walker or whatever. The amount of distance, which eggs you hatch at which times, really depends on what you're after. I will hatch 2Ks if I have multiple incubators because I need a couple of starters, mostly for candies. But this is the river down there, and you can start to get an idea of how gorgeous it is down there. I mean, it's this camera is really not picking it up. It was starting to get dark. I'm really wondering about those skid marks on the road. You have to wonder what happened there. I wonder if that's the skidding that I heard the other day. You're starting to get into here. And again, this is what I consider to be an authentic Pokemon journey type road. You know, this is just really... Everybody had that dream. Maybe not everybody. but, you know, back in the day of putting on your hat and putting on your backpack and setting out on a Pokemon journey. And this is what I always imagined it would be like. So for me, this makes me incredibly happy just to kind of stand here and look out at the river and just think to myself, wow, I'm out here looking for Pokemon. I'm legitimately out here chasing Pokemon, and it's really something. Like I said, considering that a year ago I thought I wouldn't make it to see May of this year, and I did, and I'm still going. So again, you can see the river off to the side. That's a really steep embankment too. I had really wanted to go down and get some really, really close-up camera shots, but again, nothing on my sightings list. Nothing. I think the Pidgey was even gone by then. But you can see how fantastic this road is. Come up on the river again. I think I stopped to show you what this looks like from here. And you can't see much from over the embankment there, but I think I have a picture. Here's a picture of what it looks like. Yep. In better daylight, so, you know, it's really kind of incredible. Now, part of my purpose in coming down here was to find the hidden, I'm making air quotes that you can't see, gyms that are buried here, because the only gym in town was at the fire station, and a few days ago, 3-4 days ago, it vanished off the map. So I'm assuming that they sent into Niantic and had it removed, and if we had a population of 600 that was always gathering outside, I could understand that. But as we're a really small population of people, of players, I never saw crowds clogging the driveway. I never saw people being rowdy. So I was really surprised when it vanished. So there aren't any gyms within my logistical reach, as you'll see later on in this video, but there are a couple of gyms where you would not expect them. Deep down here, yeah, there's the river again. And I think my commentary at this point is relevant, is that I always say I'm a city boy. You know, I like the idea of the city that never sleeps, and, you know, walk out your door at 3 a.m., go to a diner, go to a bookstore. You know, I love that. All right, the beat of the city really calls to me. But I think also if I built a cabin right here on the river right here, and went into town once a week to get supplies, I think I'd be okay too. It's very strange. I have quite the split personality when it comes to my surroundings. But again, as a Pokemon trainer, which is the point of this video mostly, this was really not a great catching trip so far. There was nothing on my sightings list. I probably should have thrown an incense down here, but the scenery sort of makes up for it, I think. You know, it's a long, long road, and I never see anyone walking down here. I never see cars. You know, this isn't a shortcut people take. I found out about it when I was researching historical locations in the area. And a car drove past me here and scared the heck out of me because like I said, I'm not used to seeing a lot of cars down here. This is where people stop when they go fishing a lot of times here, but I haven't seen a car in, you know, a month down here, so. This is right at the beginning of the picnic area. It looks like the zombie apocalypse is happening right here. Sorry about that. These people that I ran into, these two people were looking for acorns, strangely enough. And I stopped to say hi and let them know that I was doing a YouTube video, but I never asked that. Pardon my brain condition. I never asked them what they needed them for. And it seems strange to me because the tree right outside of our house right now drops them constantly. That's what the picnic area looks like in the daylight, in case you wanted a better view of it without the camera fuzz here from the losing the light. But Anyway, these two people were hunting acorns, and we have them all over the yard here. And I wonder what was so rare about them that they needed to go and find them at the picnic area. And yes, I did tell them they were on camera, and they waved and said hi. People are generally friendly when they see me out, and other trainers are super friendly. I've only ever met one antisocial trainer, and as I have social anxiety and PTSD and agoraphobia, it's very difficult for me to talk to people anyway. But meeting somebody at the gym and saying, "Hey, is that your Vaporeon?" Is a real great icebreaker. So, I'm getting ready to show you guys the monuments are coming up here, and this is a gym that pops out of nowhere. You never see it coming. It's not on the map on the road. This was a level 3, and it only had 2 Pokemon occupying it. So I can see that I'm putting my Aerodactyl in there on the 3rd spot, just to give them a little extra Valor boost, since obviously I didn't need to battle the gym. I would have stayed and raised the gym level, which I remember commenting on the original video, but it was getting dark really fast, and I had really wanted to show you guys the monument and historical site here, and I had really wanted to see if we could actually get a gym battle on this episode, as you'll see here. Now, as you can see, the camera's getting a little bit of tunnel vision. I'll explain that in a minute. This will not happen tomorrow, so just don't worry about it if you're watching. Don't say, "Oh, he doesn't know how to use the camera," because obviously I didn't this time. But obviously I know what the problem is, so should I explain it in a minute? But I think this is the mark right here that we're coming up on. Now, all of these markers say Norridgewock Indian Village, because they were dedicated quite a long time ago. And this one says Norridgewock Village. I have a picture. Get a little closer here so you can try to read the inscription in my headlight, but that stick and stone and feather have been there every time I've come, and they haven't been disturbed at all. And I find that really interesting, because obviously there are people who are the type to disturb these things, and it's never been disturbed. This is what it looks like in daylight. Much clearer picture. And this is the Pokestop that is right here, and site of Indian Massacre Site Memorial. Now, thanks Ingress, because it seems a little. They could have done a little better with the info for that one, but anyway. And there, like I was saying on the video, the original video, I do remember, there's a house over here with a big garage, or a garage with a house, I don't know. I actually don't know what it is, but it is literally the only, habitation place on the road. So, this is St. Sebastian Cemetery. And this is what it looks like from the back in the daylight. And you can see my scooter, you can see how big this really is. This is an amazingly long cemetery for what it is. It's not as populated as you would think. This is where my camera starts to make it look like a horror movie. The casing of the camera, the waterproof casing, had started to sweat. It started to gather condensation around the lens. And then you had the shadow from the case. And so it looks like a zombie movie, which, as I'm driving into a graveyard at dusk, did not make me feel terribly comfortable. I surprised an animal off to the right side. Knowing what I know about the animals that run around, it was probably a skunk. But with my luck, someday I will surprise a bobcat at dusk, and it will be really, really pissed off. But again, you expect ghost Pokemon in cemeteries a lot of times. There was nothing here as far as it goes. Again, my sightings list was completely empty. So again, that won't be an issue for future episodes, but you can see this really sort of scary, misty look this camera has here. And I'm not going really, really super slow on the bike here. So it's quite a ways. I mean, I had to be careful because the road it's a dirt road, obviously, and there are a lot of holes. And that bike does not handle sudden drops well. It's not meant to. It's not meant to be an all-terrain bike. Someday I will be more equipped for the terrain, but I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy that I can do what I do and go and try to be the very best. All right, we're coming up here on the Father Rasle Monument, and the story is interesting. Trying to wait until we get a little closer here. Yeah, it's way down at the end of the cemetery. Like, it's in the absolute back end. I don't know why. I don't know why they chose to structure it this way. But Sebastian Rasle was a Jesuit priest who was working with a Native American village. This is the monument in daylight to get a better idea of what the monument and the dedication look like. And, pardon me, in 1724, a group of English soldiers came up to the village of Norridgewock, there's a town of Norridgewock, which is, a town in Maine right now, but this is the Native American village of Norridgewock. And the Indians were routed out, and a lot of warriors died, some were wounded, and Father Rasle was killed as well. Now, the dedications say that he was a teacher and obviously a pastor to the Native Americans, and that he was a hero that died trying to draw soldiers' attention away from away from the village so that people could escape. And the English soldiers, of course, said that he was shot in a cabin loading a musket, and he was a troublemaker, and this, that, and the other thing. He was actually scalped, and his scalp and the rest of them were brought to Boston, to the authorities. And the survivors, or 150 survivors, buried their dead and Father Rasle. And the monument right here that you're seeing, this obelisk, was dedicated in 1833. And it became a Pokemon gem. And thanks to Ingress, Sea King is the only defender in this Mystic Gem right now. And normally I would have used an electric Pokemon, but because its CP is so low, and because I have a pretty strong Vaporeon, I wasn't really worried about you can see me gesturing here. What I was saying is that I don't really spend a lot of time being concerned with my whole team if I think that the battle is likely to be quick. So this is my 1823, I think, Vaporeon. And generally, enemy attacks range about a second and a half in between. So you can dodge and you can move around a lot and avoid the attacks, obviously. But because my Vaporeon is pretty decent in battle as far as it goes. I know Vaporeon got nerfed a lot with the updates, but you can see in this video, as you can see in the video, I'm not even dodging. I'm just using the standard attack. And the battle did not take very long. He took about half damage, and which was totally acceptable because it was the only defender. Again, had I wanted to raise the gym level, I might have been a little more careful with the team. But as I was just trying to get a gym battle on camera, it wasn't really a major concern. I put my Dugong in here because I've discovered that Dugong is actually a pretty good defender. You wouldn't expect it. But as far as I've noticed that it's pretty effective against a lot of your standard attackers. And again, I would have stayed to raise the gym level, but as you can also see, it's getting incredibly dark here in this video. It was actually kind of frightening on the way back, to be honest. I wound up in the pitch dark, and then my bike battery died. almost in the same place as last time. So this is me trying to get out of there. This is about the time when I started worrying that crazy clowns are going to come out of the woods and murder me. I don't know what the heck it was up with that. It was sort of internet-fed paranoia, but I was moving my butt out of there because it started to get a little bit creepy. I couldn't see around me, and because of my brain condition, here's something else. Dim light bothers me. I can adjust my eyes pretty well in pitch black. Bright light is fine, but in between dim light, where everything is just dark gray, my visibility goes all to hell. So I was trying to get out of here, but I will show you guys some highlights of what happened on the way home as I was pushing my bike the 5 miles home. A couple of good hatches, and again, tomorrow this quality should be better. So please stick with me. I'm trying, guys.
Got the best appraisals. Look at that. Now, how many side deck candies is that? One. Oh my gosh. Well, this whole trip has been worth it, guys. I'm gonna get my gold up today. I got a wicked tongue, guys. Check it out. I haven't had one yet. Check it out. This is my first wicked tongue. 905.
Tony back here again. I made it home, as you can see. I stopped lots of home to drink water finally. It was a long, dark push up that highway, but I made it. I was exhausted, but you guys saw the highlights, the Lickitung and the Pikachu hatch and the Meowth that ran away. But I'm safe at home. Next episode is in the works. I recorded it today. Please like and subscribe and let me know what I could do better for you guys. I really want you to share my journeys and stick with me as I go along. Thanks for tuning in.